Everyone to the Collie Bliss Beauty podcast. My name is Nicole, and today I have a very special guest to join me on the 2nd of July. We are at the beginning of a new month, which is nice for us all. And today I am with Monika Nowakowska from MNBeauty. Monika is an aesthetic therapist with 25 years experience in this industry. During those years, she turned up from beauty therapist level 2 to aesthetic professional who loved to work with skin problems of all kinds. And her favorite treatment, though, is microneedling and peels. So today, Monica's going to join us, and I'm so happy that she's with us today as our topic of discussion is facing your fears.
Yes.
But this is what we're going to be talking about. So welcome, Monica. How are you
Hi,
today?
Nicole. I'm very well. Thank you for inviting me. I'm feeling really honored. It's lovely to see you again.
And we do bump into each other a lot, don't we,
Yes.
throughout our week. Obviously, we do work together. The first time we met was in Face Gym Boot Camp. Do you remember that?
Of course I do. And can you imagine that it's almost a year?
Yeah, that's actually true. It is almost a year because we did it in September 2024, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I started mine one in June and I finished in September because there was like the summer holidays in the meantime. But yes, that's when we made first time. And that was a really lovely experience, isn't it?
It was, but even that experience alone was, for me, it was me overcoming a fear of this new non-invasive sculpting
Exactly.
never done before. I had never been trained.
Exactly.
What about you?
Exactly. So actually, as you know, so I'm aesthetician. So I've been doing for many years more aesthetic treatments, more advanced treatments when you're needling the skin, when you're using needle for, I don't know, for skin booster, for example. So everything was more advanced, I would say. And when I find out about Face Gym, I was very excited to join them because I do really believe it's like face gym, so it's like gym for the face. So of course, the more you're doing, the better results are. But what is amazing about them that you can do some of the movements at home. So basically, you can really manage the results, whatever they're doing with deep tissue massage in the studio. But at home, you can even manage and have better results. You can use gua sha, as you know, we can use different tools. So that was very, very interesting experience for me, and still is very surprising.
I know it's funny, you do get really good results the more you do that facial. People are seeing that their muscles are more toned, the skin is more brighter. So they
Exactly.
are really long lasting.
Yeah, but what is also interesting, as you know, they're doing that buccal tension release. So, so in my salon, I do Botox treatment. So you can release that tension with Botox as well. But not all of the clients, they want to have injectable treatments at the moment. They are not that fashion anymore as used to be a few years ago. So basically with hands, you can release that tension, and that's really, really amazing.
Yeah, doing less invasive, not, I wouldn't say damage, but definitely it's more risky, isn't it? Anything that
For
goes
sure.
deeper underneath the skin itself, which is the epidermis, as we know. Anything
Yeah.
that goes beyond that, there is risk. So,
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So that's risk free. You don't have indications. You can just help the people. You cannot really damage anything.
yeah. So we actually overcame our fears doing the boot camp. If you remember, there was two candidates that did end up leaving on this first week.
Yes.
For various reasons. It could be fear-based, it may be personal factors, but how important is it, Monica, for students coming up and new professionals entering the industry to overcome fears they may have? How important is that?
I think, and I always believe very, very deep in that if you don't have a passion about that industry, you won't be good. So that's the first fear, I would say. Like you really need to be passionate what you're doing because then you want to develop yourself more. You're going for different courses. But of course, fair in that industry is, customer service. We are with clients all the time. So I think this is the super important, good customer service, everything coming with experience. It also depends which kind of treatments you're doing. Uh, but always customer service is just the main thing in that industry, I would say.
Like
What
me,
do you think?
yeah, for me, when
Mm-hmm.
customer service is very important, and for some people starting off, their communication may not be so strong. I remember that was
Yes.
the case for me. I could just about stream two sentences together without laughing or jumbling up words. But now I'm
Yeah.
very strong on my communication. But that took a continual
Because
uh,
yeah, because I think that's coming with experience, The more experience you are, you're feeling, better with everything, So so I think, with that industry also, this is not the industry that you can stop, develop yourself, and to get more knowledge, you are always need to do new courses, because there is, as you know, there is so many treatments on the market, so many companies and so many competitions, that you need to do new courses and all the time learning something new.
And by doing the face gym boot camp, we really did stay updated, because face gym doesn't just teach you the manual moves using hands, they teach you devices that are quite new in
Exactly.
the industry. So it's
Yeah.
handy to have that knowledge and overcome the fear of using new devices that sometimes people can find quite difficult grasping
Yes.
first, isn't it?
Yes, of course. They're doing also pills, so you need to refresh yourself about the pills, which kind of pill you can use for who, what are the contraindications. So, sometimes the clients, they are not aware how much knowledge we need to have even to do the deep tissue massage on the face. Remember when we need to remind ourselves the name of the muscles on the face. And the people will think, oh, you're just doing deep tissue massage, but you need to have so much knowledge about how the skin is built, what is the contraindications, how which kind of muscles you're gonna massage it now, and how deep with each booster you can go. With pill it's different, with microneedling it's different, even LED lamp. You need to have knowledge about everything.
Everything, and also update that knowledge, like you just said. And that's another way of overcoming your fears. If you take the time to uh, read the knowledge again, and then you can put it into practice, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think the more practicing you do, you are always better. So that because your confidence is coming better. Your manuals coming better. Your hands, you exercising your hands. Our hands are super important in our profession.
Tell
So
me
we need to also look after our back, our posture, going for gym. Just everything.
everything. And it's funny, I remember at college they would teach you the sort of in terms of aftercare, the things you'd recommend the client does when it comes to diet and stuff like that. But we ourselves need to put that into practice in order to prove it,
Exactly.
right? So
Of
that's
course.
choosing the right diet for yourself. That's creating an exercise routine, like you just said, going to the gym or yoga or some sort of practice to help your posture, your muscles. If we can live that, people will, I feel like people, our clients will be more, they would see you as more trustworthy, that you're actually taking care of yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah, don't you agree?
I agree totally. I think it's exactly the same, like, I don't know, when you're going to the dentist and you see person with lovely tooth, you're trusting more. If you're going to beautician who looks lovely, who you can see that she looks after herself, she's got good skin, she's smiley nicely and smells nice, she's got clean nails, clean hair, you're trusting her more. With hairdresser, if you're going to hairdresser and she's got nice hair, you're trusting more. And what I also would like to point that our profession is, I can see that from my experience that the, sometimes when the people aging, they just getting depressed because we aging, all of us we aging. But I think in our profession, actually aging, I'm over 40 already, almost 50. So I can see, and and I actually realized with my clients that my age is benefits me, that people trusting me more because they can see I've got experience and I understand what I'm talking about, and I really like to share that passion, so people they can feel that.
I really appreciate that, and I really feel inspired by even hearing that because age is something that can be very useful. Your time on this earth is so useful. It doesn't matter what year you were born. You've gone through experiences, you're going through a profession, you're learning every day. And yes, it can be shared with the client, and they will definitely have trust in you, like you just said, because they realize that this person is a real expert.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But let's come back to our first. You know what? It just something came to my mind that also when you're starting new journey with that industry, your first are knowledge. So like when we're dealing with skin, there is so many different concerns on the skin which can be caused for different reasons. And diet, it's matter, exercising, it's matter, genetic, it's matter, home care is matter, and we need to know all of that. When you're doing consultation, first time consultation for clients, you need to ask so many questions which the people are not thinking they are related to the skin. I just came with acne. Why she's asking me about my diet? Why she's asking me what I'm doing at home? I just came here for treatment. I want to have beautiful skin, but it's not working like that. They need to do everything, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like everything is interconnected. So we do learn about the different systems in beauty therapy, the circulatory system, the digestive
Exactly.
system. It's all for a reason because it's all connected. Whatever's going on in the gut can affect your skin. Whatever's going on in the environment, pollution, if you're
Yeah.
around smoke, if you are drinking
UV.
alcohol excessively, UV
Yeah.
light, radiation, all of these can have an effect on you. And some of them, the things you can actually see, some of the things you actually tasting, it's all coming through different senses. So that's why it's so important to be aware of what you're around, what you're eating, and just other basic things that we're experiencing as humans.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, well, I want to jump onto a different topic because I think
Yeah.
this is what's going to really showcase you overcoming fears, Monica, because I know
Mhm.
that you moved from Poland to London, which I think is a dramatic step to
Mm.
take as a beauty professional. Tell me, what was a big fear that you overcame doing that jump?
So, I would still dealing with that, but definitely so I moved to UK 23 years ago. So it's really a long, long time. I've been very young girl, just straight after beauty school. So I didn't really have much experience in Poland. I've been working in one job only. So I wouldn't say, with the time that I was experienced at all. So of course, my first fear was the language barrier, yes, because you're coming and in our industry, you need to have quite fluent language. I wasn't like that. So it was really hard for me. So I was, learning step by step. That time I've been doing more like beauty therapist treatment. So it was level 2. So it was waxing, manicure, pedicure. That was treatments when I never enjoyed. So I think if you're not enjoying any treatments, you cannot be good with that. And I think I wasn't really good with that. Like I had good communication. I was always very hardworking person. So I always was working hard and wanna learn. But those treatments, they didn't give me any pleasure. So that's why always I was dreaming to work with skin because that's my passion. Actually, I chose that profession because as a teenager, I had really bad acne, cystic acne. I was on antibiotics, all the time with dermatologist. So and that time when I was finishing the school in Poland, there was no option to be only the skin therapist. You need to finish whole beauty school, starting with manicure, pedicure. So you need to go step by step to learn all of those treatments, which are not really, I don't really need them. I don't need that knowledge at the moment because I don't even do those treatments anymore. But definitely that gave me like, confidence with clients. All of the clients are different. Communication. I learn English quite quick. So definitely that was my first. But like the language barrier is the main one.
That was the main one. And so many people relate to that because obviously English is spoken in majority of the world, but any language is difficult to learn if it's not your mother tongue, right? So
Mm.
overcoming that fear, do you feel like that made you more confident in treatments?
See, definitely, because when you are shy, if you speak, if the people understand you, you need to really push your barriers back to get that confidence. You need to, because when you're learning any other language, there is always steps like you understand more than you speaking. And the worst thing is when you've got a barrier to speak, because then you will never start speaking in that language. So that was really difficult for me to break those barriers, to not be shy. So that was the main one. But, it just gave me so much confidence. And I think just now, I don't really care. I know that my English is not perfect. Still, I do mistakes. My kids, they were born here and they laughing from my accent. There was the time when I was shy of my accent. Now I'm actually proud. I love it that, that's what I love about London, that you're meeting so many people. Like even in Face Gym, when we're working together, we've got like, I don't know, Italian people, Spanish people, French people,
Accent,
and by
yeah.
accent, exactly, and by accent you can recognize them, that they are not originally from here.
It's so true. And I think that's a beautiful thing that you can come with your own self-expression and that in itself is beauty therapy because someone's going to
Exactly.
experience that part of you and the words you share and how you say it and your personality, right? So if you can overcome that first fear of language, you will really showcase who you really are and
Yes.
come from that pure place.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
definitely.
I'm so glad that you've shared that with the viewers because I think a lot of people will relate to that. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
and in terms of coming over to London, were there any trainings that you were fearful of doing? I know you said you did
Mm,
Botox, so obviously Botox is very invasive.
yeah.
There's some mapping you need to learn. I don't do Botox, but from the videos
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok, it's very kind of scientific, but very, you've got to be very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see, like I do Botox treatment for about 5 years now, but I need to be ready for that to learn. So I knew it that I'm that much experience that I can do it, that I'm feeling confident with myself to learn that treatment because I know that you can do so much damage. So during that 25 years, I was always learning and I was always finishing different courses. So my first job was here as I said before, as a beauty therapist level 2 and 3, not even that much because it was more like waxing, manicure, pedicure, which I didn't like it, and I always want to work with skin. But then I knew that without level 4 I cannot really go forward, So I finished school and made level 4 lasers, and that time actually changed my life because I learned more advanced treatment. So I learned a lot about lasers, which then I work in the laser clinics, and that was amazing time because that gave me so much knowledge about different concerns. So I learned about pigmentation, that with laser you can get rid of the pigmentation. I learned how to get rid of the red veins, of course hair removal as well, which was very, very fashion treatment that time. That you can actually treat acne as well, rosacea with laser. So that gave me so much knowledge and so much passion. And so of course I've been working a couple of years for laser clinics, but that gave me opportunity to learn more advanced treatments regarding the skin, which I love. So then I learned how to do the peels, different kind of peels, and that's my, like you said for beginning of our meeting, that's my favorite treatment because the results are super quick. There is downtime. I'm not gonna do consultation here, but that's really big passion for me. I can see quick results. Of course, depends from the concern, but like salicylic acid for acne or retinol acid for pigmentation or aging. Now my concerns are more aging. I've got more clients which are in my age or older, so aging it's main concerns for them, and this is something like very passionate. Like you can offer different kind of treatments, depends what they're looking for. If you have like concerts for skin or you just want to stimulate collagen and elastin, and of course the microneedling is like it's a must for me. Combined with pills, amazing results.
Well, you always tell me this, like do microneedling because you can really see a
Mm,
difference within
yeah,
a few weeks.
yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, you follow the aftercare, of course. That's
Of course, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can't go back
I
on.
know that some of the companies now they training that you can do that treatment during the summer with SPF. You see, like I'm a little bit old school girl, and I still wouldn't risk. So, but of course, there are different schools, and that's the client decision at the end what she wants to do. So, of course, the consultation is main thing, but I wouldn't do that for any skin type. And with your skin type, for sure not, because you can pigment very easily. Yeah.
That works for you. See, what you're doing, you've seen that it does work in reality.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what you
And
know.
I always really, like I always really like to try things on myself because I think if you're trying, you're seeing, I don't know, downtime, you're feeling, I don't know, acid, for example, how strong is it, or how you're healing after dermapen. Uh, it's easier for me to recommend because I can really then talking, without any preparation about it, like with you, it's like it's my passion and whatever knowledge I've got, I like to share it, but I always like to try first on myself. So whatever I do in my home salon, any treatment or any product which I will recommend or sell, I'm always trying on myself first.
That is a great tip because that's a major way someone can overcome their fear of just delivering a treatment. If they just try it a few times on themselves, they'll know the sensations, they'll know the recovery time, all
Exactly.
these things they'll
Yeah,
naturally be able to share with the client because they've experienced it, right?
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
That's so good to know. And Monica is a chemical queen. She loves her chemical peels. So if any of you are watching and you want to get in touch with her, I'll be sharing her social links at the end. Yeah. So just
Thank you.
stay very tuned. But we are going to move on to another question, which is so what proven habits have just helped you overcome your fears? Like not necessarily tied to beauty related, but are there any other practices you do in your own time that can help you overcome your general fears of your profession or other things in life?
What maybe I will surprise you, Nicole, but I think to become a mother of two, that's changed my life. So like I that was the time when I need to forget about my fears. I need to forget a little bit about myself because they were most important for me. So you're just going through life and you're not looking back after yourself. You're just doing whatever is best for kids. So that gave me so much strength, you know uh, I just realized that I'm not the most important on the world. There is somebody more important than me. Now it's also changing because that's changing with life as well. Now I've got teenagers, so I'm starting to have again that time back for myself. But there was the time when it was 24 hours a day. I was just for them. So that gave me that strength to fight and to also realize what I really want to do in the future.
Wow. And overcome every fear that tried to take that away, because
Yes,
you're greater than it. You're much greater to achieve bearing children. That's magnificent, right?
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but when you've got passion about, I think that's the most important in your life, to have a passion from your work. So if you can work and earn money from your passion, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it really is. Are there any other fears that you think people are facing now in the beauty industry, like that might that might be quite common now because of the times we're living in, social media, uh,
Mm.
so many people sharing knowledge, like how can they
Mm-hmm.
that fear, thinking like they never know enough, kind of.
Exactly. Oh, I think yeah, it's just so much competition. So even I don't know, like if you're feeling the same like me, but I'm in that industry for 25 years, and I think I'm quite experienced, and I've got good knowledge, but still I don't know everything. It's impossible. It's impossible to follow all of the news, all of the tricks, all of those companies, even I don't know. I would say like, let's say. Polynucleotides, yeah, treatment. It's just so many different products on the market that you cannot know all of them and know how they worked. Probably they work similar, but you cannot even know all of those names. So sometimes, the clients coming to my salon and they asking, oh, do you know this? I said, no, I never heard about it. And I think that's very important to uh, to not be afraid to saying that, no, I never heard about it. First time I'm hearing, let me just make the picture or something. I will Google it. I will check that online. I think the worst thing is when you're playing that you know everything and you are the best,
Yeah.
because it's impossible to be the best and to know everything, especially now when we've got like internet around us and social media and TikTok. So I think with beauty industry, the first, I think the kids, like for example, I've got 15-year-old daughter, and I'm feeling sorry for them because they've got access to that social media, and unfortunately, not always the news are real. There is so many filters, and they want to be perfect, but no one is perfect. So I think it's important to love yourself as a way you can, as the way you are. Of course, we can slow down aging process. We can do different kind of things for our skin, for our look, but let's be ourselves and don't use the filters.
Get rid of the filters.
Get rid of the filters and
Only use
yeah.
them on
But
special, only use them on your birthday or special occasions.
yeah, but it's like I know, because my daughter sometimes she's sending me picture and I was like, oh my God, she looks so different. It's not natural anymore.
But this is the thing, even a lot of beauty businesses now in their marketing, they're not showing real pictures of people,
Real.
they're showing AI pictures. And I think
Yeah,
is that a play on the natural beauty which you should be promoting, or are you promoting this not fake beauty, but
exactly.
this aesthetic that people want that isn't natural? Like got to, like you say, it goes back to that factor of staying true to who you are and
Mm,
expressing that version of you and not being afraid, no matter how the times are changing. You will attract the right clientele for you if you are who you are.
definitely.
And if you're not misleading, like you said, trying to pretend to know everything when you don't, or do 100 treatments on your
Yeah.
treatment menu when you're not confident on all those treatments.
Absolutely. I think you cannot be perfect with everything. You need to really talk to yourself what you want to achieve, who you want to be, and then follow that. Because you cannot be, like I said a few times today, I never like to do waxing and manicure pedicure, and I never was good with that because I didn't feel that. But I think the same with body treatments. I don't really fancy to do it. So I never really progress myself or train myself for any, like, I don't know, fast dissolvers or or fat freeze, or there is so many different treatments on the market for body, because I always like face. So I like face. I like to work with face, and that's what I still do. Now also, of course, neck and decollage, but that's what I love to do. That's what I want to learn, and I'm glad that in Face Gym we're treating all of those three areas.
100%. And the the great thing about treating the face is the first thing people see, and it's just nice to know
Yeah.
that you've contributed to someone's face.
Yes.
Wherever they go in life, someone might compliment their face. It's nice for you to know that, oh, I've made a difference to their
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
confidence, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, when you've got client and you can see that her skin become glowy after your treatment, it's just such a lovely price.
It really is.
Especially when you've got clients and they saying, "Oh my God, your hands are magic," or I really believe what you're saying because I can see results." That's the best price for, I think, in our industry for our hard job.
And you're making a difference to people's self-esteem, aren't you? To how they feel about themselves, how they appear.
Definitely, definitely. I had so many clients with acne previously, and I still do like manual extractions, which is, very old school treatment. But I still believe that, none of the machine or product will clean the pores that deep like the hands. And when they're coming back for another, and it's so painful treatment, not pleasant, but they're still coming back because they can see results after that first treatment. That's amazing. That's really what I'm here for.
Yeah, and it shows that they have confidence in you to continue the course, because sometimes
Exactly.
they'll do one treatment with you. They may not
And they
be
will never back.
satisfied and they'll
Yeah.
never come back. So
Yeah,
that
exactly.
that in itself shows that you've overcome a great fear, and they know that they can trust you and continue with you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Except
definitely.
so
Hmm.
apart from the sort of whirlwind of social media and
Hmm.
the fears that might arise in from that aspect, would you say that there are any other fears? Like what I've noticed sometimes in the workplace is they're making a lot of changes in terms of introducing faster check-in, check-outs, and AI in a way is helping us achieve that. Booking systems are helping. More things on automation, and I see it as a very positive thing. Like I don't see it as a fear, but sometimes I think in the workplace a lot of people can be quite fearful around that, like, oh, we haven't got this anymore, or this has changed. Or how do you feel about the changes to work environments now in beauty, because we're not solely relying on a human necessarily to do the
Exactly.
admin work? How do you feel about that side of things?
So as a worker, I quite like it because you're coming, you're doing your job. Clients can be difficult, so you will always find client on the phone or walk in when they're complaining about something. And of course, if you need to face it face to face, it's always you're getting late for your treatment. Another client is upset because you are not coming to the room on time. So that's definitely easier as a worker. But the same as a client, if you will ask me as a client, that can be a little bit annoying because you don't have person to talk with. So if you want to complain about something, you've got issues, you've got any questions, you don't have person to talk with. So that's something different. But I know that the world will be like that. But that can be something different definitely because. The people, especially older generation, I would say, I'm not talking about younger people because they are used to it. They are learning at school to deal with that new world. But, like to talking about older generation, they cannot find themselves anymore. They
This is
don't know how to deal with that, those QR codes, that everything online. I'm not talking about my age, but like, for example, my mom age, she cannot really cope with that anymore.
Yeah, so I think when that sort of clientele come in to a beauty business, maybe we could offer just extra support, and it's a difficult one, isn't it? But I do feel like the times we're moving in, it's helping the business speed up in a way. I like
Yeah.
the way I can go in, like you said, have my column, be responsible for that column. In a way, I feel like that overcomes a fear for people who enter the industry who aren't familiar with receptionist role and answering the phone. In a way,
Yeah.
it's making things easier for them if they're joining these companies that have that infrastructure. But I would say for those types of students who are maybe entering in the industry, choose your workplace wisely. Choose somewhere that will fit in with you and how you want to operate as a beauty therapist, because there are some companies that are still moving quite old school, whereas there are some that are more up to date now. From
Exactly. And you see, and I think like old school version, it will teach you more multitask. When new version is just, and I'm not too sure if that's good, because it's nice to learn multitask, just, when somebody calls sick or you just need to replace somebody or I don't know, to help with something, you don't know how to do it because new system won't teach you that.
There you go. So there are ways to learn those skills. You can do online courses and there's many other options, but do choose wisely where you work. We have come to the
Definitely.
end of this discussion. And before we go, I'm going to let Monika, as you know, she does own MN Beauty and she is a business owner. How can people reach out to you, Monika?
So I've got Facebook page. My Facebook page is my name and surname together, Monika Nowakowska Beauty. Easily you can find me there, and it's connected to my other platform, which is MN Beauty on Instagram.
On Instagram. So you can contact Monika on Instagram too, on MN Beauty. It's been
Yeah.
lovely speaking to you today, Monika.
Thank you very much again for inviting me. Like I said, I'm really honored. It was a pleasure for me and was lovely to see you and chat with you about our passion.
I'm so grateful that you are on this podcast, Monika. So many people are going to find the knowledge so useful as they go about reaching their highest goals in this profession. So thank you once again, Monika.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any questions, put the comment under and we will be happy to answer it.
Thank you.
Connect with Monika Nowakowska from MN Beauty Facebook, Monika Nowakowska, Instagram, MN Beauty. Hit the like button. Subscribe and follow for more. Comment, like, subscribe.